Hey everybody, it's the Review Revolution, back at you again, taking a look at the next in the DC Universe Wave 11 series. That's right, back to the DC, and Wave 11, the Cyborg Superman. Very cool. Of course, just recently I did a review of the Cyborg Superman with Mongol 2-pack, and that was a repackaging of the Cyborg Superman from the DC Heroes Superman wave of that line, which is actually very cool. We'll have to pop them out of the pack to get a look to see how they compare. But looking at the packaging, just for I guess one of the last few times on this style of box. Inside, as they started doing later in the series, there is the inside plastic, the vacuum packaging, and it has the circular logos imprinted to go along with the theme of the character. Of course, this is the Sinestro Corps Cyborg Superman. Doesn't actually specify that, but this is his Sinestro Corps. He is figure 4, which, surprisingly enough, actually, we've done Question, Shark, Deadman, and now the Cyborg Superman. So he is figure 4. That's cool. He comes with the Collect and Connect piece, or pieces, for this ugly mug, apparently. And on the back, we've got, we still have Steppenwolf, and then the rest of the Corps to finish. But taking a look at his bio, it says, after being destroyed in a radiation accident, Hank Henshaw became a being of pure energy. Henshaw beamed his consciousness into a Kryptonian birthing matrix that brought Superman to Earth. The experience granted him an irrational hatred of Superman. Utilizing the matrix to construct a cyborg body out of Superman's DNA, the Kryptonian alloy, he teamed with the interstellar tyrant Mongol, bent on wreaking havoc throughout the universe. Explains why he would come in a 2-pack with Mongol. They should think about that. First appearance, Adventures of Superman, number 466, 1990. Real name, Hank Henshaw. Occupation, mass murderer. Base of operations, Terran Solar System. Special abilities, able to control electronics, can create new bodies for himself out of machinery, invulnerable, and able to create and manipulate objects with the 5 Sinestro Corps rings. So that points out this is the Sinestro Corps version. But that's a quick look at the figure in the box. We'll take a moment, pop them open, get a look, and have some fun. So be right back. Alright everybody, we've got the Superman out of the pack, and I figured we'd get the comparison part out of the way first. Because for the most part, from the lower torso up, it's pretty much the exact same figure. The only big differences that I can notice is, of course, the difference in the paint. With the DC Universe Superman, you can tell it's a kind of almost ashen skin color, whereas on the Cyborg Superman, it's almost like a sunburn color. Much darker. I would imagine if they put the two together, they would have come up with just right. On the DC Universe Heroes Superman, Cyborg Superman, he's got the blue eye. Here, both eyes are red. The sculpting on the cyborg parts is exactly the same. Sculpting on the arm is exactly the same. The cape, you can see here on the Sinestro Cyborg Superman, there is a seam. And then on the DC Universe, it's much more pronounced, but you can see the same seam is there. Looking at the bottom, now as I mentioned, from the waist down, the legs themselves actually are completely different. I would have wished they could have used the lower part of the leg from the DC Universe Superman. I like that cyborg detail. I wish they could have kept it. Instead, they just went with what I'm assuming is just the regular lower torso of Superman. A little disappointing. But really, exactly the same. So actually, a clever reuse of an existing superhero's figure. You know, no points off for reusing. I'm glad they did. It's a cool character. Now, the Cyborg Superman himself, really nice. I mean, all the things I've said before about the Cyborg Superman. I love the skull. I love the, not even a skull, but just the cyborg face. I call it a skull because, you see his teeth, but he does have an android nose, not just the cavity that you see on a Terminator or something. Here, now, on the Cyborg Superman, the S is actually quite large, because it goes kind of almost into, back and forth, because it almost goes into the little layered parts, little cyborg parts. Here on the Cyborg Superman, they actually made sure to give a little bit of a clearance, so it makes the symbol look a little bit smaller, but it's the same size. And for anybody taking notes, that is the Sinestro Corps symbol, not the Red Lantern symbol. So even though you may mistake him as a Red Lantern, which he also has it on the back of the cape, which is very cool, even though you may mistake him for a Red Lantern because of how he looks, this is his Sinestro Corps appearance. Also, you can tell, because on the box it talks about his 5 rings, and I've checked, and it seems like this one's only sculpted with 4. So at some point, yeah, this is when he only had the 4 rings. Now, I didn't go back to check, I haven't looked, but my understanding was, if I remember correctly, the Cyborg Superman actually wore the rings on his human hand. I'm not 100% on that. If anybody can tell me different, if in fact this is correct and it should be on the Cyborg hand, please let me know, please leave a comment. But I do believe that he actually used to wear it on his human hand. In the case of the articulation, of course, head does turn. It is on a slight ball. The arm comes out, twist of the bicep, elbow and wrist. He's got his crunch, twist of the waist, leg comes out again, thigh, knee, and foot. I said before with the Cyborg Superman, the DC Universe Superman, or DC Superhero Superman, so many to keep track of, that I like the fact that his costume was a little darker. Again, it was a little more ash. It just seemed to be more of a shadowy kind of color. Here, I like the use of the red with a black wash, because it does give him a much more sinister kind of look. It's got this deeper red. It's very, very cool against the black. And I also like, again, how the cape kind of hangs off the shoulders down his back. It's not right up there on his collar. Always makes the cape look a little more weighty and gives it a little more, I don't know, makes it seem more billowy somehow. Just very, very cool. Now, as far as his accessories go, he comes with 2. One is a lower torso, which, over and over I keep thinking I've seen these pieces before. I don't know where, but I have. I don't know. I'm kind of stacking them next to my brimstone, so maybe there's something I'm seeing there. He does come with another piece, which is rather new to me. I don't think I've seen this one anywhere else. It feels and actually looks a bit like a piece of dried out Play-Doh. Where it's been out just a little too long. There's no saving it. It looks and feels a bit like that. It's supposed to be part of the Collect and Connect figure. I'm not sure how it's going to go on, but yeah. We'll take a look when we get all the pieces together. For now, though, this has been the Review Revolution saying rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.